Hello everyone, my name is Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales, and welcome to a new episode of Dragon's Pipebomb. Okay, so in today's episode we're going to be talking about Tits, Dragonporn, Rugby, and probably a little bit of TEW as well, which we'll probably start off with TEW because you're probably wondering what the hell that is, so I will go into it and explain that for you. As always, a big thank you to my awesome patrons as well. They're listed in the description below. They get early access to this particular series. It goes onto the Patreon feed first, and then a few days later it goes out to everybody else on the channel. So a big thank you to all the people that have supported the channel. Big thank you to all of you that are watching as well. Awesome stuff, guys. If you want any kind of topics for me to go over in these episodes, then let me know in the description below, and then I can go over them in next week's episode. I pretty much talk about anything, so you can be as vulgar as you want. It can be as strange or obscure. I will mention it and talk about it as best I can. So we're going to start off with the first topic, which is TEW. TEW stands for, actually I don't know what it stands for. Extreme Wrestling? Total Extreme Wrestling, I think it actually stands for. It's a game. It's a game, guys. It's a wrestling game, which is like how can I put it? It's like an indie game, basically. The guy that created it basically created this fictional database, massive database, where you become a wrestling promoter or a wrestling booker. And you can book pay-per-views, book shows. It's like Football Manager does wrestling, think of it that way. And I bought this game last week. It cost me about $30. It was in dollars, so that was like something like £25, something like that, in my currency. And it's a really good game. I've downloaded the mods for it, so I've got all like the real world stuff. So I've got like WWE, TNA, I've got like ICW, which is where I've started my career on. So I've started on ICW, which is Insane Championship Wrestling, based in Scotland. They are the biggest wrestling promotion in the UK, and I wanted to start with them because apparently if you dive into WWE, you're just going to get found out because there's 4 shows you've got to run. You've got to do SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and WWE's main event. Really hard sort of working schedule. Hundreds and hundreds of staff members to go keep happy and stuff. So they say go with a small promotion. So that's why I started with ICW. It's going pretty well. I've done a few months in game so far. I've had a few pay-per-views, and basically you get ranked. It's like a grading. So like A is the top. Nobody ever gets A. Like B plus, B minus, C plus, and it goes all the way down to an F minus. And the first couple of shows I did were an F minus. I was like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. But I've started to get sort of D minuses and Ds now, so I'm doing a lot better. Basically, you have a budget. You got to hire talent, so hire referees, announcers, commentary. Women wrestlers, male wrestlers. You create your own tag teams. You create your own storylines, and you've got to try and get good ratings each and every week. And it's really in depth. You don't actually see any action or anything. It is a database, effectively. It's like Football Manager, like I said. But it's really gripping. If you love sort of wrestling, which I do, I'm a massive wrestling fan, both British wrestling and WWE. So I'm obviously this is up my street. This game is up my street, and I like Football Manager as well. So I'm happy to play this type of game. It's a really good game if you like it. I was thinking that maybe at some point after a few months of me playing it, I might do a little mini series, maybe a road to WrestleMania. Because I know there's another YouTuber which I watch called Lolu Joe, who is a Football Manager YouTuber, who started playing this game. That's how I come across this game in the first place, and he's doing like a road to WrestleMania. So maybe once I'm comfortable playing the game and I've got a bit more knowledge of playing it, I might do a WWE road to WrestleMania and play as WWE. So little thought that I put out there for you guys. Maybe I'll do it. If you want to see me do that, let me know. I won't do it yet though because it's a big learning curve. Like I'm only getting D ratings. Once I've started to get C and Bs, that's when I'll feel a bit more comfortable doing something like that. But my promotion, ICW, I've got like Drew Galloway, which used to be Drew McIntyre in the WWE. I've signed Cody Rhodes. I've signed Alberto El Patron, aka Alberto Del Rio, when he was in WWE. So I've got quite a few sort of main eventers at that level, and I brought up some kind of young up and comers as well. So I've got a nice little roster going on at the moment. So might do that. On the flip side, you can also create your own promotion as well. So like I did a little bit of a mock play around. I haven't done anything major, but I've basically I created my own promotion called DCW, which stands for Dragon Championship Wrestling, and I've sort of got the logo and I got my world title with my logo on it. So there's room for editing and being quite open-minded and quite creative as well. So I might play around with this and try and do something along those lines on the channel at some stage as well. But anyway, if you want to see me do stuff like that, let me know. That's the first topic I want to get out the way quickly for you guys. Rugby, duck porn, and tits is the other things. Basically, duck porn and tits was mentioned on my Discord server a few weeks ago by, I think it was Anua, Dyden, and Mr. Flapples. Floppy D, prone to being floppy, so I'll go over them. So, duck porn, what's my experiences with duck porn? I've never watched it. I have no idea if it exists, although I do know Kahuli, who's my good friend and a YouTuber as well, and a live streamer. Although he hasn't done many live streams recently, he brought it up at one stage, and all of a sudden I got raided one day by him. He did duck porn raid, and then I think it was Cards Against Humanity when he did that. Was it a 100 subscriber stream or 200 subscriber stream? I'm not quite sure what it was. He had like a duck porn image that popped up, and it had like weird ducks doing funny eyes and googly eyes and stuff. So that's my experiences of duck porn. That's all I can really say on the topic, to be honest with you. That's my only experiences with it. As far as tits go, I'm a big lover of tits. I like arses. I really like bums and bottoms. Bottoms up. Bottoms up. I got a bottle here as well. Ironically, I do like breasts. I don't like massive like breasts. I don't like implants. I really find natural things like that really off-putting. I also don't like too thin either. Like people, women that. Obviously, I'm saying women because I'm a male that is a heterosexual, so I'm into that sort of thing. Just so I put that out there in case you guys go, what about male breasts? I'm not interested. Just thought I'd put that in the video right now. I don't like flat chested either. I got a bit of bump, something to play with. So that's kind of my sort of thing. Right? If you ask me tits or ass, I can barely pick one. It's very close between the two. I'd probably just go with tits, only just, guys. So yeah, that's my thoughts on tits. So I thought I'd get over the duck porn and the tits straight away, just to get them out of the way for you guys. The final topic for today, it's gone quite quick. This one has. Didn't think it'd go this quick, but oh well. The final topic that we were going to talk about is rugby. So I've been watching the Six Nations recently, and as I've recorded this, the day before, Wales lost to Scotland, which was really gutting. Rugby, for those of you that are not sure what it is, it's basically a ball playing sport, where the aim is to get to the try line. If you score a try, go over the line, score a try, you get 5 points. If you convert, then have a conversion, you get another 2, so you get 7 points. A penalty or a drop goes worth 3, and whoever scores the most wins. Basically, it's quite complicated. There's a lot more into it than just that. That's just the basic scoring system, but there's a lot more to it, like line out, scrums, rucking. I'm not going to go into all of it because fucking Google it, guys. You know what I mean? Google it. Wales are one of the best teams in the world, usually at the sport. So I think 2 years ago when we played in the Rugby World Cup, we actually got the last 16 and got knocked out, unfortunately. But we got to second in the world, our highest point ever. As a matter of fact, 2 years ago, second in the world. We usually are up there competing for the Six Nations. We've won a few Grand Slams in our time. We're up there sort of out of the Six Nations. So that's the Northern Hemisphere main national tournament. So you've got the 4 home nations, Scotland, Ireland, England, Wales, and then you've got France and Italy. And usually it's Ireland, Wales, England, and France who are the 4 sort of teams that are competing for the championship. Scotland and Italy always seem to be dragging behind, but Scotland actually beat us yesterday for the first time in 10 years. So I'm very gutted by that. As you can probably imagine, it's not going to be a good tournament for us. We lost as well to England, which is always hurtful, and we could have beaten them. That's the worst part about it. It's literally last kick of the game, last minute of the match. We gave the game to them by a poor clearance, didn't make touch. We cleared it, found an English player, and then they ran and then scored a try, and that was it then. So very gutted by that, obviously. But there's a game that I've been thinking about buying recently, because Rugby Games, I'm going to bring us back to gaming now for you guys that are bored. Rugby Games have notoriously been shit on console or PC. Rugby Challenge, I had Rugby Challenge, which is one of the main titles in rugby sort of games. Series is that even a word? I don't even think it is. Oh well. I had Rugby Challenge 1, the first Rugby Challenge, a few years ago, and it had quite a few licenses. Gameplay was okay. It didn't really have the staying power, the game didn't. And there's been 2 more games since then. Rugby Challenge 3 is the latest one, I think it came out last year. And it's just gone back a mile. A lot of licenses have been removed, a lot of stadiums have been removed. there's not much you can do. Unless you buy it on PC and use mods and stuff, then you're not going to have the right kits and stuff. Gameplay looks very repetitive and boring. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend Rugby Challenge. But there's a game which caught my eye recently called Rugby Union Manager 2017. There was a 2015 version of the game as well. And the reviews on Steam say that it's kind of, well, it's mixed reviews. It's about 40 reviews, 20 are saying like good, 18 are saying it's bad. It's got the Pro 12 license, which is my big thing because that's the rugby clubs that are represented in the Pro 12 are from Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and Italy. So if I bought this game, I'd probably do a Newport Gwent Dragons save because that's sort of the area and the team that I would follow. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. It's 30 quid. It's a lot of money for a game which I'm kind of on the fence about buying. I've looked on other websites as well, like CD Keys, Green Man Gaming, and Kinguin, and they haven't got it on there for some reason. Only Steam have got it. So it's like, I either pay 30 quid or I don't buy it at all. To be honest, I don't think I need to buy it at the moment. I got enough games to get on with as it is. I'm just looking at my library right now. I've got TEW, which I've mentioned. I bought WWE 2K17 recently, which I love. I've got The Witcher, which I'm going to be streaming, of course. I've got Gwent. I've got Football Manager, which I'm doing a series on. So there's loads of stuff I've got at the moment. So I'm not going to bother going over those games. I'm not going to bother buying this game at the moment. But it's only been out a few months. November it came out. It's only about 3 months. And there's hardly any videos of it online either. So as far as like doing a series on it, there's potential there. You type in Rugby Manager 2017 and literally all comes up as like a trailer and like another video. No one's playing it. Or sorry, no one's playing video and making videos on it. So there's room for a market there perhaps if I want to get into it and give it a go. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'd like it. I'm playing a lot of management games at the moment. Football Manager and TEW being two sort of management sims right there. So I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, guys, it's going to be probably a shorter Dragons Pipebomb today. So we talked a little bit about TEW, the wrestling game which we've come across recently, and we talked a bit about Tits Duckporn, and we talked a little bit at the end then about rugby and the rugby sort of games, or rugby challenge more than anything else. If you've got any topics you'd like me to talk about in any of these videos, let me know in the comment section below. Leave a comment, and I'll more likely include it in the next video. I want to say a big thank you to all people that have watched and shared and liked the series. Absolutely awesome stuff, guys. Thank you so much. And all my awesome patrons as well, which are in the description below. If you want to follow me or email me or anything, everything has been scrolling above my head right now, and everything's also below in the description below. I've been Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.